We've scoured the internet to bring you the ultimate in life hacks, bonkers inventions, and crazy contraptions designed to make your life easier, more exciting, and definitely more fun. And we've summoned a team of experts with science brains and funny bones to explain everything. From the ridiculous to the sublime. And make sure you strap in for the grand finale at our very own Hack HQ, where we create and construct an epic stunt, our very own super-sized solutions to life's problems, big and small, with the help of Mike Sansom, pyrotechnician, chemist and engineer, and his human guinea pigs, Marcus Bronzy and Stephen Grant. For now, sit back, relax and put your feet up. Let us do the hard work so you don't have to. This is how hacks work. This episode we're dusting off our overalls, blowing the cobwebs off that toolbox and setting to work on the world of DIY. Using the hints and tips in these videos, you'll be hacking left, right and centre and asking yourself, DIY, didn't I do this earlier? From specially designed stilts that satisfy all your painting needs, to using the power of chemistry to eliminate nasty smells, and a heavy-duty way to solve your peeling problems in seconds. We'll also be testing out the fastest way to build furniture in our own epic power tool hack.
The ultimate DIY hack, right?
First up, a broken light bulb. Not a problem for the humble potato.
It makes me love carbs even more than I already do.
My one warning would be just make sure you've got no current anywhere near that light bulb at the time, otherwise you're going to end up with fried potatoes.
The problem when something gets really hot, like a light bulb filament, is it starts to react with oxygen in the air. So what we have to do, get that out of the way. We suck all the air out of the bulb to make a vacuum, or we can put a gas in that doesn't react at all. So that's why your bulb is always enclosed in that glass dome.
But what happens when a light bulb smashes? Time to see it in slow-mo.
If that bulb cracks, what's going to happen is all that air is going to rush in from the surroundings because the pressure inside is lower than the outside. It's an implosion. But then what happens? The oxygen hits the hot filament, it reacts violently, and then it explodes.
So it's Mighty Spud to the rescue, proving not all superheroes wear capes. Some wear delicious peelable skin. A helpful carbohydrate, it. Next to changing a light bulb, drilling a hole is probably the most common DIY activity. It's also the messiest. Not anymore though. Observe.
I love the drill cone. It's brilliant, especially if you're drilling into plasterboard in your house, putting up a picture or something. It just gets everywhere, and then you have to get the hoover out afterwards, and what was a small job becomes a huge job, which you just think, oh, why bother? So something like the drill cone, it's so simple, and it just saves so much time. I love it.
I tell you what I did do once. This is absolutely true. I tried taping a vacuum cleaner with gaffer tape onto the edge of the drill to try and suck the dust as I was drilling.
What about epic drilling though?
Some of the deepest holes that have ever been drilled are in the gas and oil industry, where you're drilling down through the Earth's crust, down, 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 to hit that oil field and to be able to extract that.
Sorry Rob, we don't have any hacks with people drilling into the Earth's crust. We're more about, you know, DIY and stuff like that. Jeez. This mess-reducing tip is one less reason to put off that DIY job for the 50th time. Go on, get it done. A brill, drill, hit. This next video shows you how to get hooked on fizzy drinks. Literally.
Why stop at the ring pulls? Just put the cans up. You haven't got space in your fridge, just put a can up, you know, and then when you pull it off the wall, it'd probably open it, wouldn't it? So put the cans up.
I sort of flinched a bit when he was bending the aluminium ring pull, because with metals, when you bend them, actually they become more brittle. So if you're going to bend this ring pull, actually what you might end up doing is introducing some kind of weakness to the material, and this could endanger your pictures or your photographs or whatever that's hanging on the walls.
There are over 200 billion cans of fizzy drink sold every year. Enough ring pulls to hang up a separate poster of nearly every Fast and Furious movie. But how do they actually work? Like most things on this show, it isn't as simple as it seems. It's a complex 2-lever system. When you first start to open the can, the pivot point, or fulcrum, is at the very end of the tab. This is called a second-class lever. Just like when you lift up a wheelbarrow and the load lifts too, as you pull the tab, it lifts the rivet and this vents the pressure from the can. This causes the forces on the lever to change. The fulcrum is now in the middle of the rivet and has become a first-class lever, just like a seesaw. Now when you pull the tab up, it easily breaks through the scored aluminium, allowing you to open it. The perfect way to enjoy your drink.
This is quite a new design, so they used to design aluminium ring pulls so that you pulled the whole thing off and you ended up with the cap sort of in your hand. But then that's obviously a massive littering problem.
You can get a pack of picture hooks for about the same price as a fizzy drink. Some things just aren't worth hacking, and this is one of them. Coming up at Hack HQ, Mike ropes Stephen into helping out with an explosive nail cannon.
What was that?
I said an explosive nail cannon, Stephen. Well, this all sounds very safe. So far, we've made light work of a smashed bulb and showed you a top skills, no spills, no frills drill hack. I don't think the internet is done yet, though. Let's see what other DIY tips it's got for us. There is a severe lack of style when it comes to storing knives. It's something nobody says. We've got a hack for it anyway, though.
That is very clever. I like that a lot. I've got some experience with glue, but nothing as useful as this. Normally mine has been very destructive, but that is constructive and I like it.
Glue guns are brilliant. I mean, I used to look at them as purely a means of getting glue out, but nowadays it's basically you can form any shape you want.
This glue is made up of a tangled mass of polymers, which are tiny strand-like chemicals that all mesh together. When we add some heat to those polymers, they can all move past one another, which is why your glue flows. But when it cools down, they tend to bunch back together and you get a solid mass. But they just reform on the new shape.
I think the most important part of this hack is the washing up liquid, because otherwise you've got to explain to people why you've just glued your knife into quite an attractive cage.
The washing up liquid here is a great idea. It provides a barrier against the knife to stop the glue from sticking. And that's what you need, otherwise you have a gluey knife.
Most hacks on this show have an element of danger to them, so it's nice to see a sensible one redress the balance slightly. A safety-conscious hit. DIY without a ladder is DI difficult. This next hack is the perfect solution for all those hard-to-reach areas.
I've been there before when you're painting up high and you're on your tiptoes and you're just trying to get it high enough. A, it's really inaccurate, and B, your calves and your feet really start to hurt after a while. So this hack kind of works pretty well, and he's pretty mobile with it. He'll have that wall done in no time.
Can you imagine trying to walk in those? I mean, I can't even walk in heels.
Yes, I think they look very dangerous. Like, the steps that he just took are not very assured, shall we say.
Not very assured? He looks like a drunk baby deer.
The way our sense of balance works is through a series of little channels in our inner ear, and they're full of fluid that rubs against very small hairs and signals to our brain which way up we are.
You certainly wouldn't want to fall off them. Safety concerns aside, it is getting the job done. It's a hack hit. Next time you have a nightmare with a screw that's gone past its prime, just band together with a trusty piece of elastic.
I always get quite upset and frustrated with myself whenever I feel with the screwdriver that you've rounded off the head at the top of the screw, because you just know, oh, I'm never going to be able to get that back out again.
Try and get them in further, and then you can't get them out or in, and try putting pliers on. So I can't wait for that to happen again so I can use that hack, because I was so impressed.
As you can tell, George lives a rich and varied private life.
What we need for this hack is a lot of friction, and rubber is perfect for that. It works exactly like a gecko's foot.
A gecko's toe pads are covered in thousands of microscopic hairs, each of which splits off into hundreds more smaller bristles called spatulae. These microscopic hairs fit so well into the contours of walls and surfaces that something called Van der Waals force comes into play. This force, unlike the one in Star Wars, is a physical bond that occurs when the electrons in the gecko's toe molecules interact with electrons from the wall molecules. In effect, the gecko is clinging to the wall using electromagnetism. They're basically reptilian superheroes.
If only I had a rubber band.
This hack banishes the most evil DIY problem on the planet. It's my new hero, a massive hit. From a very sensible hack to a completely over-the-top and potentially dangerous one. That's right, it's time to head over to Hack HQ, where Mike is gearing up to build his own cannon-based power tool.
Beautiful day, but if we're going to do hacks, I'm going to need Mike. Where's Mike? What was that? Mike!
Stephen!
That's a cannon. What are you doing with a cannon?
Well, for this epic hack, right, we're going to use the mechanics of a cannon to make the ultimate DIY power tool. Sounds great, yeah?
Yes, it sounds like overkill and terrifying.
Cannons are the ultimate epic weapon, and they need a truly epic amount of force to fire.
Right, safety glasses.
Thank you.
Ear defenders.
Right.
Let's do it.
Does anyone think this is a good idea?
Here it goes.
That was really loud.
It's really loud.
Why are we using a cannon, Mike?
Right, so to make the ultimate power tool,
Okay.
we're going to use black powder
Okay.
in a cannon to fire a 6-inch nail. It's going to be a cannon nail gun.
So this is just basically like a hammer on steroids?
Basically, yeah.
But I don't see these in DIY stores, so what do we need? How are we going to make this work?
Looks like he's been inspired again. The mechanics of a cannon and a DIY tool. Yeah, that sounds very Mike.
Right, in my little box here, I've got black powder.
Okay, show us
That's
there.
what we used to fire in the cannon. See, it's little grains of black powder.
So this is like gunpowder?
Very similar. This is old-fashioned gunpowder. So this has a mixture of potassium nitrate, charcoal and sulfur. Mixed in the right quantities, it's refined and it produces about 500 times its own volume in gas, really, really quickly.
So basically you trap a huge amount of gas in the cannon, and the only way out is to push a massive iron ball through the air. Science is crazy.
I'm hearing a lot of words, but
Yeah.
what I'm feeling is you're saying that's quite dangerous.
It's quite dangerous, and we're going to put it into a cannon and fire a 6-inch nail.
Let's do it.
We'll be back at Hack HQ later to see if they manage to pull off this completely crazy and not at all impractical hack of a supercharged DIY power tool inspired by cannons. So far we've seen tabs for hooks, glue for guards, and even ladders for legs. Don't hang up that tool belt yet, because we've got plenty more home improvement hacks on the horizon. If you've got a spare bag of charcoal lying around, and let's face it, why wouldn't you? This next DIY hack shows you how to turn that smoky lump into sweet, sweet perfume. This guy's using charcoal to change the very air he breathes. Now that is a breath of fresh air.
I've got a way better hack. Pants, charcoal filter, anti-fart pants, absorbs the smell. Been married 2.5 years thanks to these. My husband is very grateful that I wear them daily.
So I really like this hack, but unfortunately he's using the wrong kind of charcoal. What he needs is something called activated charcoal.
Charcoal has an intricate lattice-like design with countless tiny folds and cracks between the charcoal particles. It can filter out toxic chemicals such as benzene and xylene by trapping them on the surface, but it can't trap that many as the surface becomes full. Come on, xylene! When treated with oxygen, however, this opens up pores and cracks in the carbon and increases the surface area. This is called activated charcoal, which is used in fish tank filters, some toothpastes, and of course air purifiers. pores mean that huge numbers of toxic particles can be trapped in the carbon, taking them out of the air. When activating the charcoal, you can even choose the pore sizes you create, allowing you to select which toxins you stop based on their size. The charcoal itself, however, doesn't change size at all, no matter how much it traps. This is because the particles are only stuck to the surface of the pores and not absorbed inside the chemical structure. Can we really smell those tiny particles, though?
If you walk into a room and it's a smelly room, you're going to notice it because we're okay at picking up different scents. We've got about 5 to 6 million receptors right up here in the top of our nose. But compared to dogs, we're rubbish. We've got 5 to 6 million, they've got about 220 million receptors.
I don't know about you, but spending my Saturdays looking for activated charcoal isn't worth the price of an air freshener, I'm afraid. A fragrant miss. If you love apples, hate their skin, but also love drills, I think I might just have the perfect video for you.
What a great idea. I hate peeling apples, so this is perfect for me.
I think we should have more drills in the kitchen.
I quite like the peel.
So Laura loves bolting down the peel, but is it doing her any good?
A lot of the nutrients in an apple are actually in the skin. So depeeling it, unless your recipe says specifically you must peel your apple, then I'd keep it on. Get it down you, all the better.
Seriously, is there anything drills can't do? A peely good hit! From healthy snacks to health and safety, we all know DIY can be a first aid nightmare. This next hack is guaranteed to save your fingers.
Whoever did that, well done. Great work, and everyone has a peg. This is what these hacks should be used for. This is great. This is not crazy. Well done.
I love the safe hammering techniques. This is genuine. Yesterday, I smacked my finger with a hammer, not on purpose, I might add. And you get these things, blood blisters, come up in seconds, and it's really painful too.
The humble hammer is actually the 4th biggest cause of DIY accidents in the UK. We get about 6,000 visits to the emergency room every single year.
When I hit my finger with the hammer yesterday, what I did was, biologically, I ruptured and damaged and split all the tiny capillaries and blood vessels that are moving blood around down there. And so what you get is bleeding. I started to bleed. But because I didn't rupture the skin, it forms this bubble that's, it's actually at quite high pressure. If I were to pop that now, it'd be messy.
Finally, an actual use for clothes pegs. A hammer hit. The countdown is over and the fuses are lit. There's no cannon too big, no dynamite too strong for Mike to handle. And with his trusty guinea pig Stephen, he'll try anything so that you don't have to. Earlier at Hack HQ, we witnessed the extreme explosive power of a cannon. Now it's time to see just how Mike is going to make this awesome weapon into a DIY hack. Has anyone seen those safety goggles?
Stephen, what are you doing?
It's a life hack, Mike. Look, I'm using a hair grip to make sure that I don't hammer my fingers. Useful for people, a good hack.
Pretty pathetic though, isn't it?
No, it's perfect. Why would we need to use we could just use a hammer, can't we?
Well, it's tiny, isn't it?
OK, so what would you use?
Well, I'd use a nail gun.
Of course you would.
Yeah, and if you put on your safety glasses...
All right.
I've got a professional nail gun right here. And this fires 4-inch nails into wood like that.
Right. And that'll do the job we want to do then, yes?
Sadly not.
Why?
This only fires 4-inch nails.
OK.
That wood is 4-inch, and what I've got to go onto it is also 4-inch. So we need something bigger. And I've already told you that we're using a cannon, and we're going to use a cannon to fire a 6-inch nail straight into the wood.
OK, and we can't do that with a nail gun?
No,
we
that
gonna
only
do
fires
it?
4-inch.
Right, so what do we need?
We're going to use a lovely little cannon that I've made myself.
Oh, the Nailed It 2000. That's 20 years out of date, surely.
No, this is brand new. I've made this myself.
Can I stop you there? You've made a cannon yourself?
Yeah.
How?
How? Well, you get a big lump of steel, you drill it out,
Yeah.
you put a fuse hole in, you put black powder in there to fire it, and then you get a great big nail is your ammunition.
You make cannons. I made a stroganoff last week and I was genuinely proud of myself. You've made a cannon. OK, and you need this to fire...
So what I've got is this big bird table, and I'm going to secure that with a clamp. There we go. So that's clamped on. I'm going to put the nail in there with the black powder, bring that up nice and close, light the fuse, bang, in it goes. Okay. Nailed it.
So why black powder?
Why black powder? Let me show you. That there. There's 5 grams of black powder, which we'll use inside the cannon, and I'm going to let you light it.
Oh, OK.
Have you ever used a blowtorch before?
I've got one of those little ones that puts a caramelised edge on a tomato. It's lovely when you're doing a dinner party.
Yeah, this is much bigger.
OK.
Yeah, OK, so what you need to do, click that button, it lights the blowtorch, and then bring it into the black powder, nice and carefully. Right. Ready for it?
Yeah.
OK.
OK, all right.
Yeah.
Ah! Ooh, that seemed quite quick.
It is pretty quick, yeah. So it's a propellant explosive. It propels things. It's going to propel that nail out into the wood, rather than just blowing the gun up.
OK, so the key thing here is it's a propellant.
Yep.
So we can just stand here as we do it.
No.
Where do we go?
Pretty dangerous, so we're going to go over there behind a blast screen.
Need a hair grip?
I don't think we need a hair grip.
OK.
First thing Mike has to do is put 5 grams of black powder in, making sure it goes all the way down the pipe. Finally, it's time to load in the nail, 6 inches of solid metal. Then, if ever there was an epic hack that required them to retreat to a very safe distance, it's probably one that involves firing a nail from a cannon. Off you go, lads.
Are we all loaded?
We're all loaded, we're all set, and we're safe behind this blast screen.
So this screen thing, it's just like a big plastic water bottle? Is this going to save us?
Yeah, so I've got here a metal frame, and in front of it, polycarbonate, 10 millimetres of polycarbonate, which they say is bulletproof.
Wow. Well, that sounds good, except we're not firing a bullet, are we?
No.
We're firing a 6-inch nail.
Yeah.
Are we going to be OK?
We'll be fine. Shall I go and shoot it?
Go for it. Yeah.
Fuse is lit, pop those on.
Right. Any minute now. Ah!
Whoa! That was pretty loud.
That was loud. Let's go and have a look. Oh! Oh my God!
Look at that.
That's incredible.
So,
I'll be honest with you, Mike. When I saw that, I thought, it's not really a cannon, is it? That's just like a little bit of pipe. But that's...
It's a proper cannon. It's gone right in there, and if you come over here, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's overkill, so it's you. I mean, it's completely black here. Why is it completely black here?
That's just unburnt carbon, so the deposits of the gunpowder.
OK, and that's 8 inches of hard wood that it's pushed a 6-inch nail straight through
the way
through. Well, you know what? When you got the nail gun out earlier on, I was thinking that's pretty meaty. Why would we need anything more than that? This makes the nail gun look like a pea shooter.
The ultimate DIY hack, right?
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. If I want to put a nail in anything from now onwards, a hammer is not going to do the job. Can I borrow this for DIY stuff?
No.
That's our DIY episode nailed. For one of the first times ever, I'm going to say make sure you do try these at home. Or maybe give the homemade cannon thing a miss, actually. See you next time!